Hi guys, मैं ready हूँ यहाँ पे. So I'm gonna talk about this girl. So she is talking about Desi consultancies, and that's one of my favorite topics because Desi consultancy is a secret shortcut to success. Yes, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about it. If you're a green card holder and citizen, maybe no, because then you can do it yourself. But you may need their help for 1 year. But I'm going to talk more about H1B holders, F1 holders, students, L1 holders, and all that. Desi consultancy, working with the Desi consultancy is a secret hack. If you work with the secret hack, you can make a lot of money very fast, very soon. But you must have the maturity to handle the situation, right? You must have the maturity to understand this. If you don't have the maturity to understand this, then you cannot go anywhere in life. Let's talk about her aspects one by one.
This video is totally dedicated to all the pros and cons of a Desi consultancy that will help you decide whether or not to fall for it. But for that, you will have to stick around till the end.
I noticed that she's saying some really good pros also. So she's talked about certain aspects, and those are really good things. Cons, I'll answer each and every con one by one, and I'll tell you how her con doesn't make much sense to me. Yeah.
Hello, namaste, welcome to my channel. I'm Pragya Mishra, your visa and immigration guide. In this channel, we discuss everything related to visas, immigration, studying abroad, working abroad.
By the way, what's my qualification to talk about these things? Guess what? Make a wild guess. The wildest, even wilder. I'm a Desi consultancy owner. Yes, I'm a Desi consultancy owner. So who can talk better than me? Okay, guys, stay tuned. I have a lot of information to give you. And I'll be honest. You can look at my channel. I'm a pretty honest guy. I'll be very honest and tell you everything. I'm talking about taxation hacks. I'm talking about finance hacks. I'm talking about money hacks. So here I'm going to talk about some and I'm going to talk about the Desi consultancy. It's a pretty good secret shortcut. So secret shortcut to achieving a lot of money, making a lot of money, lot of money, lot of money. Yes, a lot of money. Yes, a lot of money. Making a lot of money very fast, very soon. Yeah, let's hear her.
In short, we discuss about going global. And yes, if you're interested, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and we will keep you updated with all the latest updates.
Yes, yeah.
Desi consultancies, which are also known as the necessary evil for today's market. Well, whether it is true or not depends on the pros and cons that we will be discussing in this video today. And yes, you have to wait until the end so that you can figure out whether the Desi consultancy is meant for you or not. So let's get started. Starting with the pros of the Desi consultancy, what are the major advantages of a Desi consultancy? The first and foremost, they give you a H1B sponsorship even without a job offer. Yeah, this is exactly how the Desi consultancies work. They may have a project, they may not have a project, but yes, they are willing to fund your H1B. So if you are someone, let's say, who have been impacted by this current season of layoffs and you are about to end your 60 days grace period, in short, you're about to lose your H1B status. In that case, definitely a Desi consultancy will come to your rescue as they will be willing to file for your H1B visa. The second advantage of a Desi consultancy is that it's of a huge help to the H4 holders. H4 holders who are the unused workforce of US. They are here in US, but if they do not have a...
They're not unused workforce of US. They are unused workforce of US. They don't belong to US. What is this discussion? Don't say it's US. They don't belong to US. First pro is a very good pro, guys. By the way, it's a pretty good pro. Okay, keep that in mind. It's a very good pro. They are ready to file your H1 visa. They are ready to file OPT. They are ready to give you OPT offer letter. They are ready to give you job offers for OPT people who have to leave the country within 90 days. Second thing is when the person gets laid off, then they're ready to give you an H1B sponsorship before the 60-day expiry. So 60-day grace period expires. So looking at all these things, these are pretty good pros. Second one is, yes, it's unused workforce. I just have the objection to that. It's not US workforce. It's wherever it is. It's not US workforce. It's yeah. Anyway, second thing. So next thing is, she's about to talk. Let's hear her point though.
EAD, they cannot start working. So yes, desperation I can say, or whatever, the wait for EAD, having I-140 approved and then going through the process of EAD, it's tough. So what to do? In the meantime, H4 holders can also take the advantage of Desi consultancies who will be willing to file their H1B visa, and yes, if selected in the lottery, you have got a chance to start your H1B.
So basically, Desi consultancies file for green card instantly. That's the point. And yes, they do. That's a huge thing. You know what is green card? I have seen situations where in IBM or Mutual Professional Services or CGY or, they didn't even file the green card for many, many years. So who is at the loss here? You. H1B Desi consultancy files the green card on the day one. I file the green card on day one. The first day of your job employment with us, I'm ready to file the green card. I'm talking about me. So isn't it a great thing to happen? How can you ignore these things? Let's come to the cons now. She's also saying she's a pro, so I have no. I mean, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about you guys. You guys, many of you don't even consider these things as a huge thing. This is a huge thing. Yes, we don't interrupt your green card process. There's just so many things about it. But let's listen to the cons, because that's where it gets interesting.
A Desi consultancy. So basically, these are the two major advantages that Desi consultancies offer you. That is a H1B offer in cases of emergency. So starting towards the cons of Desi consultancies. As I started my video stating that a Desi consultancy is a necessary evil. Why? We will discuss about the cons, and you will be the one to judge the pros or the cons, which one weighs heavier at the end of the video. So the very first thing, what is that is very offsetting about a Desi consultancy? The major con is that the rejection rate. The rejection rate of Desi consultancy is way higher in comparison to other direct hires or other big term consultancies, big brand consultancies like Capgemini, TCS, or let's say Cognizant, any such big companies. So in comparison to them, definitely the rejection rate for Desi consultancies is very, very high. The second con is very much related to the first con, and that is, why is the rejection rate so high? Fake profiles. Yes, Desi consultancies lure you into their trap by promising you making a fake profile. Let's say you are having an experience of 4 years, but they have a project which requires an experience of 10 years, and this is what the Desi consultancies do. They prepare fake resumes, fake profiles, hyperstating your experiences. Maybe you do not have that experience with the state on the profile that they make for you, and yet the quality of...
First thing is, they are saying the Desi consultancy, this thing is, so there are two types of Desi consultancies. One which use their in-house lawyer. The other ones are which use an American lawyer, basically outside help. So I use, and then, but within that, if a person uses an American lawyer, nothing can go, the chance of something going wrong is very less. Let's compare TCS, CTS, Infosys, Birla Software, etc. They use Desi lawyers, and they are shit. So your visa in the hands of TCS lawyers is a bit of a problem. That's why you have a lot of rejection rate of Wipro, IBM, all these companies. On the other hand, if you have made the choice wisely, you will not get into this issue. Do you know this? Did you know this? If the Desi consultancy has a policy of hiring only American lawyers, then you are not in any kind of jeopardy. Ask them what kind of rejection rate they have. For example, in my case, I never had any visa rejected in the last 15 years of my Desi consultancy. Not even a single visa. And I'm here saying it legally. You can sue me if I'm wrong. Sue me if I'm wrong. Yes. Not even a single visa was ever rejected. Ever. Ever. Not even a single I-140 was ever rejected. Not even a single LCA got ever rejected. Yes, yes, true. I'm telling you the truth. This is, you can quote this, you can quote this in any legal court document. I'm fine with it, because this is truth. This is a fact, right? So many people don't understand how to even choose a proper Desi consultancy. Every Desi consultancy is the same. No, they're not same. You need to make your choices wisely. So if you choose I know some Desi consultancy you use, like I use 15, 16 years back, 20 years back, actually used a Desi lawyer. He ruined my visa applications. That's when I decided to go with an American lawyer. She's very expensive, but she's really good. So if you go with a Desi lawyer, I have that experience, and I'm telling you, you should see who they are going with, and if it's a Desi lawyer, just yeah. If they're filing in-house, using in-house help to do it, just forget it. Your visas are in very, very like buttery fingers. They won't be able to catch anything. Remember cricket terminology if you don't know cricket. So basically, it simply means they don't know what they're doing. Okay, let's listen to the second one.
Staffing definitely goes down, and yes, even if you get a project on this basis, you're not going to last very long, right? Not only this, Desi consultancies also promise you interview assistance. So what is this interview assistance?
So that's third point. Second point is they build your resume or something. So my point is, how bad is that? If you get a job, she said, if you get a job, you will not last very long. That's not true. That's what basically adds weight to her argument. Otherwise, she hasn't told him, how does it matter? She hasn't really said that. I'll tell you, the success rate of OPT CPT students is, in the first project, they will definitely last 3 to 6 months, and then they will get another project, then they easily last 1 year, 2 years in the second project. Yes, I'm not giving fake numbers. You can talk around. How bad is it that you got lost in a fabulous career, and now you're making money, and you have a visa, you have everything in your hand, now you have everything, and you lost your first contract in 3 months. It's a 30% chance, but 70% chance will last for 6 months to 1 year. And then after that, you just never look back, and then you just are on a roll. Basically, your projects go for 1 year or more. How bad is that? How is that a bad thing? So her weight, as I said again, the weight in her argument lies in the fact that she made a statement that, right, the project will not last long. That's wrong. That's not true. That's not true, ma'am. That's untrue. That's a false statement. Let's continue.
In fact, interview assistance means they will be guiding you towards the in the interview process. Guidance doesn't mean they are going to train you something for the interview. It means they will be literally answering for you. This is what the Desi consultancies do. Believe me, I've seen so many people like this who, during the interview process, you can directly call them out as being fake. They keep looking here and there, answering questions, and this is what the Desi consultancies do. They start giving interviews on your behalf in order to get you a project. The next major con about a Desi consultancy is overwork.
Now, how you said that they do this. How does it matter? Can you please say that? So you get a job or not? My question is, do you get a job? Does it work? Are you able to perform work? You need to understand how industry works, and that's when you realize you have been skimmed, right? You will understand you have been skimmed. So till that time, I'm just telling you, does it work? What is your thought process on that? Does it work? If it works, then what's the problem? Right? I told you one of the stats is that 30% of people may get laid off may lose their contract within 3 weeks or within 3 months. Most of the people go on a long term, gonna like basically they have a they pretty go they are able to carry on the project for a longer time, and then second project really goes very well for everybody, pretty much everybody. So my point is, I don't see any issue here. I'm not going to dive into how it is out more than this. It doesn't really warrant a big response. Let's go to other points.
Yes, a very, very common issue that all the people working for Desi consultancies report is that they are overworked. You are having a talent for something, you should be working for a certain limit of hours, but yes, if you're working for Desi consultancies, welcome to the trap. Be ready to overwork yourself, forget your social and family life. This is what Desi consultancies usually do. And the major...
Wrong. Extremely wrong. I have seen people who work for Amazon, H1B, and all these companies. They are overworked. I've seen myself people who work for Google and all these companies. They are overworked. No, they see consultancy means when you're working on a contract basis with a client, then they have to respect all these end clients. They respect the 40-hour thing, and they would never give you more work than 40 hours. If they do give you, they will give you money also. I have myself billed people for 45 hours, for end clients for 45 hours for my time. I don't know what she's talking about. They're definitely not overworked. They're definitely not overworked. That's the beauty of that's the beauty. Once you're successful, I call it after 1 or 2 years, one and a half year, once you have gathered enough, acquired enough experience, then you can easily get projects, long-term projects, 1 to 2 years, and then you can choose the projects also. If you don't like the project, you can get another one where they will respect your time. Companies like TCS, CTS, Infosys, Birlasoft, they are overworked. They make you work like hell. So I'm comparing three things: end client jobs, Desi consultancies, and these solution providers or implementation partners or system integrators. These guys are the bloodsuckers. They are the real bloodsuckers. They make you work like an ass. They make you work like a dog. They are the bloodsuckers. TCS, Infosys, Birlasoft, etc. are the bloodsuckers. Accenture is bloodsucker. My candidates, my consultants don't want to work. I call them candidates. My candidates don't want to work for these. They don't want to sign the contracts with them. So when a person is fresher, we are okay with, because freshers cannot be choosers. So we are okay to send them to TCS, CTS, Infosys on contract basis. But after 1 year, once they become senior, we tell them never to sign contracts with these companies, like all these companies, shitty companies. These are the shitty companies. Don't work for them ever. Yeah, if you are hired directly also by them, don't work for them ever, right? And even if you're on H1B and you're working with a Desi consultant, you may be having a contract with TCS. Don't do that. Leave those contracts. They make you work very hard, and even within and now coming to end client and end clients, yes, sometimes there is not much work, but then most of the time there's a lot of work, especially for OPT students, freshers. There's a lot of work. I've seen a lot of people who are working at end client working a number of hours. No, you don't have to do that in Desi consultancy though. Okay, this is a myth. I don't know where it came from. No.
disadvantage of Desi consultancies come. This may definitely change your mindset. Is the wage rate. So as we all know, H1B visa holders or the sponsors for H1B visa have to pay a minimum wage. But yes, with talent, with experience and everything, you can negotiate your own wage rate, whatever it is. But when it comes to Desi consultancies, they are notoriously popular to known for being giving very, very low wage rate. How it actually works? It works on the basis of 2070, 2080, whatever is the negotiation rate. And yes, let me remind you, the 70 and 80 is not your part. The 20 or 30 is definitely your part. So yes, you will be ready to receive a wage way.
Wrong, wrong, wrong. In the first few months or something, every Desi consultancy needs to make a lot more money. So they would be giving, like, let's say 50-50. By the way, what does TCS work on? Do they work on percentage basis with you? No, right? So please understand that they are the worst pay masters. And clients for freshers are also they pay pretty low. Like, I have seen salaries of 80K given to IITians who graduated from masters and they were working for Google, Microsoft, etc. They were given 80K by some of these companies. So I'm pretty sure what I'm talking about. Whereas, yes, let's count the Desi consultancy wage rate after one year. Typically, people can easily make 150 to 200K. So that's the reason I call it a secret hack, because you can make a lot of money. And after 1.5 years, when you can command remote projects, you can use basic tricks, right? You can do 2 projects for a Desi consultancy and you can make double the money, like 300K. And I'm not kidding. If within 1.5 to 2 years, you can start making 300K. But you need to stay the course and you need to learn the ropes. If you stay in a poor technology, useless technology, then it may not happen. But I will tell you what to do. There are a lot of Desi consultants who would love to guide. At least I love to guide everybody what technology they should be working in, and they can easily get semi-remote or remote projects, and then they can easily handle 2 projects, and then they can make a lot of money. So I don't know what she's talking about. Maybe in the first 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, when the uncertainty is high, they may pay you less. But then after 1 year, you just make so much money. I have some consultants, they make so much money. I don't know why I'm running a Desi consultancy. Why don't I just work like them? He's having 3 projects, making $600,000, and I'm not kidding. Which Amazon guy is making $600,000? And mine are rules. Those are rules, not exceptions. In Amazon, if you find one guy, he'll be an exception. In FB, in Facebook, in Meta, in Google, these are the big ones, right? There the salaries are a little higher. What about the other companies? In Walmart, in all those IT departments of various companies, you make so less money. They pay you. I know one friend of mine at Apple Labs, he was getting paid 65K. That's peanuts. 65K my consultants give to their mates. I give to my mates. 65K is so that's a salary. How can someone work for an end client, work his ass off, and then get paid only 65K? He keeps on saying, I get benefits, I get this, I get that. What? What do you mean by benefits? Benefits are worth like $2,000. They're worth maybe $20,000 a year. It's not a big deal. So your salary is basically 85K. What is the salary? 85K is nothing. It's peanuts. In Desi consultancy, if you work for 1.5 years, after that, you can easily make 200K, 150K. That's easy. And after that, if you're smart, 300K. If you're even more smart, if you're a hardworking guy, 500K. Yes, I have so many OPT guys, CPT guys, after 2 years or so making this kind of money. So, this is false that their wage rate is low. This is false. The lowest is TCS. TCS, what does TCS pay you after which if you have 10 years of experience? How much do they pay you? 90K, 100K, 80K. That's what they pay you. That's what the Jamadas cleaners get paid in America. You know that? Go check cleaner salary. Truck drivers make more money than that. Truck drivers make more money than that. My consultants make a lot of money. Every consultant can potentially make a lot of money. A consultant means candidate, like you guys, the students, the H1B holders. Yes, they make a lot of money.
Way lower than the market rate. So this was my analysis regarding the pros and cons of a Desi consultancy. Now you know that what you're going to gain and what you're going to lose if you're being approached by a Desi consultancy or if you're falling for a Desi consultancy. But if you're someone who's already working with a Desi consultancy, then do not hesitate to mention in the comment section below, and we would love to hear your experience out. And definitely this is going to help a lot of people who are in a dilemma whether or not to go for a Desi consultancy. But if you ask me, what would be my approach? Go for a Desi consultancy when you're in emergency. Let's say 60 days grace period for H1B holders on the layoff.
Go for a Desi consultancy if you want to make a lot of money. If you want to stay an asshole all your life. If you wanna, if Google hires you at 300K, don't leave Google. If they hire you at 250K, don't leave them. Okay, Desi consultancy gives you 350K, but that's also have to work a lot harder because you have to do 2 to 3 jobs for that. But other than that, if you want to make a lot of money, simply come to a Desi consultancy. You can make a lot more money than Amazon, Google, But there are so many IT departments also. Any small company in Bay Area. I had a friend who was working for like some Bay Area company, big one. I won't take the name of the company for 10 years, and he was making how much? 120k. 120k I pay to my peons. My worst consultants get paid 120k. $60 an hour is nothing. Yes, $60 an hour is nothing. Anybody's worth his salt who has some good technical background, Java related background, they can easily make 400-500k. They can get 2-3 jobs, 2-3 projects. So come to Desi consultancy if you want to make a lot of money. This is not a. This is also obviously if you want to solve all these issues that she's talking about. But then basically you should stay with the Desi just to make a lot of money. That will be my number one reason. And it's I'm backing this thing with some of the things like I'm doing for my own family. Yes, when my family are my some of my relatives ask me where should they work. Should they work in Google, Microsoft, all these places, or should they work for Desigans? I said work for Desigans because you make 3 times more money. You make a lot more money. You have to work hard, but you make a lot of money. 400-500k, and you can choose the project. If you don't like the project, get another one. Make sure that you choose the project which has very less work. If it has a lot of work, don't do it. Give resignation, give notice, take another one. I hope these things clear a lot of doubts around Desi consultancies. Thank you guys. Let's hear what she wants to say.